Greetings, my name is Bryan Conrad. I'm an MBA student at Franciscan University. This presentation is for Bus 710, Marketing Management, and my presentation will be on the marketing success of Southwest Airlines. Today's presentation will focus on the early years, specifically the 1970s decade, when Southwest Airlines grew to its initial success. I'll tell the story through the lens of the 5C framework, and I'll explain the company's application of solidarity with both its customers and employees. Starting with a quick review of the 5C framework. As the illustration on the left shows, the target customers are at the center of the framework. The company, the collaborators, and the competition all seek to create value for the customer, and the context is the environment that encompasses all of these factors. The Southwest story starts with context in 1967, when Roland King and Herb Keller started up the interstate airline with services to Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston, the Love Triangle. At the time, the federal government heavily regulated the airline industry until the passing of the 1978 Airline Deregulation Act. In the early 1970s, a company like Southwest could never enter the interstate travel market. However, intrastate travel was only regulated by the states. And this is important because of the massive geography of Texas. An intrastate air service could be profitable. Southwest's first flight was in 1971, and it only took 2 years to turn a profit in 1973. By 1978, the company had an operating revenue of $81 million with a net income of $17 million. By the time of airline deregulation, Southwest had established a highly profitable company with a strong brand, ready to enter the interstate market. Two very important collaborators for Southwest are Boeing and small regional airports. In 1971, Southwest purchased 4 Boeing 737-200 series jet aircraft. Since that initial acquisition, Southwest has only purchased different variations of the Boeing 737. Today, the company remains one of the few airlines to operate a single aircraft. For Southwest, having one type of airplane achieved notable monetary benefits, including streamlining employee training, reducing parts inventory, and simplifying record keeping. Additionally, the company could leverage its relations with the manufacturer to get better deals when acquiring new planes. The other important collaborator was small secondary airports. Starting with its base at Dallas Love Field, Southwest fought several legal battles to keep its business at regional airports. Flying to smaller airports whenever feasible, Southwest avoids air traffic congestion, allowing the airline to streamline its turnaround and get back into the air. Southwest collaboration with secondary airports brought more commerce to the local community and kept secondary airports open for business. The airline industry is one of the nation's most competitive, and Southwest has faced fierce competition. Southwest's most famous price war was with major airline Braniff, which tried to undercut Southwest with a $13 fare for flights from Dallas to Houston. Southwest's response was to offer the same $13 fare or offer a $26 fare with a complimentary bottle of liquor to help keep Southwest operating in Dallas. This offering lasted just long enough to beat out Braniff in the Dallas market. Southwest's primary strategy against its competition was a disciplined corporate expansion. After the 1978 deregulation, Southwest consistently grew by a modest 10 to 15% annually. A race for revenues in the deregulated market led to numerous bankruptcies across the nation's airlines. Southwest resisted the rush and chose to focus its efforts on short-haul flying, delivering its first interstate passengers to bordering states. The tempered expansion protected Southwest from fierce competition in the saturated airline industry, operating out of major hubs across the nation. The company can be defined in terms of goals and resources. The Southwest goal was to prioritize profit over revenue, and it could do this by perfecting short-haul travel. This meant more flights and more profits. Sticking with shorter flights at smaller airports whenever possible allowed for the famous 10-minute turn, landing, unloading, and taking off with new passengers in just 10 minutes. Southwest achieved this goal through its resource, its people. The company didn't just look for the best qualified pilots, it looked for well-qualified pilots with the best attitude. And of course, Southwest selected a certain type of flight attendant. Keep in mind, this is the 1970s, but those flight attendants had a cheerleader-like attitude that kept the short flights fun. Southwest focused on 2 types of target customers, the business and the leisure traveler. The business traveler was more time-sensitive and valued convenience to get from one meeting to the next. The leisure traveler was price-sensitive concerned with affordability. Southwest targeted these customers with a two-tier price system based on price elasticity, which is today's standard in the airline industry. Southwest sold more expensive flights Monday through Friday before 7 p.m. for the business traveler, then dropped the price after 7 p.m. and on the weekends for the leisure traveler. This strategy was paramount to its profitability. Beyond the 5 C's, Southwest has achieved a reputation as a company that cares for people, and this closely reflects the Catholic principle of solidarity. Firstly, the company demonstrates solidarity by making flights affordable. In the 1970s, major airlines simply did not care to provide an offering for those who could not afford the higher price of air travel. Southwest, however, changed this idea, providing an offering for the underserved market of price-sensitive travelers. Southwest also demonstrates solidarity with its employees by offering proper remuneration for labor. The company was not the highest-paying airline, but it had a generous profit-sharing program. Additionally, the company strived to uphold the respect with its employees, and this is evident by its extremely low turnover and its policy to avoid furloughs to the max extent possible. Finally, the company is highly unionized, and leadership has worked well over the years to maintain a healthy relationship with labor unions. In conclusion, the 5C framework and the company's practice of solidarity demonstrate how Southwest became one of the most successful airlines in the country. Since 1973, the company maintained an incredible 47 years of consecutive profits until 2020. And this is largely due to the factors I've just explained and the solidarity it has shown to customers and its employees. So that concludes my presentation. Here are a list of references I used for my research. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your comments and questions. God bless.